Hello, peeps. Janine Brunetti here, your favorite holistic Jersey girl. Today I'm going to be talking about clairs. Now, I put my new ring light together today, and I'm not a hundo sure that I did it right. So if this all comes tumbling down in a moment and I go bye-bye, it's because I put my tripod with ring light together wrong. So I also think it's missing a hole. I contacted them today. I'm like, there were supposed to be 2 phone holders and there's only 1 hole. So I'm not hundo sure what's happening with that. But anyway, so that's why I may be like looking up and I'm looking over here. This tripod situation is not set up right yet. But hello, peeps. If you're catching the live, drop live. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're catching the replay, as always, hashtag a replay. I have my handy dandy reference book because I wanted to go over intuition. Now, if anyone has asked for a sign, that is what I believe is intuition. When we get a sign, when we ask and we get smacked in the face with something, that's intuition. There's 4 different ways that we communicate, or we have a strength of ours. There's 4 different ways. So I'm going to give you those 4 and I'm going to ask you some questions that you can answer. And based on your answers, I'm going to tell you which one is your strongest. Okie dokie. So the first one is through visions. So that's obviously, I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's through things that you see. The second is through feelings. So, I mean, it doesn't say it here, but I feel like it could be like even when you get chills, you know, when you feel something, you're like, ooh, or you get like your hair stand up. That's what I think number 2 is for feelings. 3 is thoughts. So that's kind of just like, you know, when you have like an aha moment, I happen to always get those when I'm in the shower. Always. And I'm like, I can't write this down. Oh my goodness. So, okay, 3 and then 4 is through sounds. So that could be something that you hear, maybe a ringing. It could just be something maybe you hear over and over again. That's a huge sign. Like if you keep getting the same message over and over again. So I'm going to, if you already know what your clair is, there's 4 of them, drop it and we can see. If you drop it now, we can compare it against the end when I read the questions and you can tell what the answers are, okay? So there's a primary clair. I think I have a couple clairs, but we usually have a primary clair. So like I said, I like to call that intuition. You know how people are very visual, like I'm very visual. The way I learn, I learn by doing, I learn by seeing. Me reading a book, I was never good at that. So I don't know if you have a strength even just in the way you learn, but I think that's going to carry into your clair. So think about these scenarios and answer the question, just 1 response per question. And if you want, just put it in the comments or jot it down so that you know what it is. So number 1, when you initially meet someone new, what's the first thing you tend to notice about the person? Now I'm going to give you the answers and write down the letter. A is the way the person looks, such as clothing, hair, smile, shoes, general attraction. That's A. B is how you feel around the person, such as being comfortable, amused, safe, maybe not safe. C is whether you find the person interesting or believe this is someone that you can help out in your career, or if you find that they're fascinating, that's C. And D is the sound of the person's voice or laughter. So write down the letter that corresponds when you initially meet someone, what you notice about them. Write that in the comments. Then we're going to go to question 2. Think back on a vacation that you took. What stands out most in your memory? A is the beautiful sights of nature, the architecture, the green trees, something that you witnessed. B is the peaceful or romantic, restful, exhilarating feelings associated with the trip. C, the most important and interesting cultural and historical information you learned while traveling. And D is the sweet silence, the crashing surf, the chirping birds, the rustling leaves, music, or other sounds. Okay, now the last question. Recall a movie that you truly enjoyed. When you think of that film, what comes to mind first? A, the attractive actors or actresses, the lighting, the costumes, the scenery. B, the way the movie made you laugh, cry, or moved you in some regard. C, the interesting plot, the life lessons that you or the movie's characters learned during the story. And D, the musical score or sounds of the actors or actresses' voices, or just what you hear during the movie. So we're gonna note down the answers based on what you felt for each question. So most likely, this is the way it should work in the perfect world, you should have 2 or 3 questions with the same letter. So that would be your primary Claire, or the dominant way that you process information. So dominant A's, right? So A's were like the beautiful, like what you saw, right? The beautiful sights, the attractive actors, the way the people look. Those were A's. If you answered mostly A, it signifies that you're primarily clairvoyant. So if you've heard of clairvoyant before, drop me or yes in the comments so I know who my peeps are. So it just means that you're a highly visual person. You're likely to notice people. You're likely to notice how people, places, and even meals look before you focus on anything else. It means that you're also probably very artistic. And if you're not creative in this way, you have an excellent eye for putting things together. Maybe interior design, maybe wardrobes. So when you get messages, for me, I like to know how I get signs, how I get messages. Your angels or your intuition speak to you through mental images, signs that you witness with your physical eyes, anything that's meaningful, seeing repeating numbers. So if you see repeating numbers, I know a lot of times you see 111, 444. If this is you, drop me an angel in the comments. Found coins, signs of butterflies, birds, all those types of things like that. That's clairvoyance. Okay, so if you got, the next one is mostly B's. So B is the way it made you feel. That's clairsentience. You interact with the world through physical and emotional feelings. You're highly sensitive and may have difficulty dealing with crowds, which include driving on busy streets or dealing with a lot of people, freeways. So it's also saying that you're very compassionate and often feel the pain of those around you. Most people call this empath. So if you identify as an empath, you may be clairsentient. This is maybe your primary Claire. So you want to help others to feel happy, or your professional helper. And you may have been teased for being too sensitive. So if you've been teased for being too sensitive, drop a 2. Let me know who my peeps are for being teased for being too sensitive. I know I've always been teased for that. But your sensitivity has made you a delicate receiving instrument for heaven's messages. I love that. Okay. So the signs that you'll get is through your heart and your body. So you could get feelings such as like the hair standing up, chills, just different sensations. So mostly C. We're on to the next one. The third one is, so mostly C's were, let's see. So whether you found the person interesting, what you noticed culturally. So C is claircognizance. So it means you're an intellectual type who receives direct communication through ideas and revelations. Your angels, your intuition speak to you through wordless impressions that you receive in your mind. So that's when you have those aha moments, or you get these ideas. I get it while I'm driving, while I'm in the shower. You're able to mentally ask for information or help to receive it as divine instructions that suddenly appear in your thoughts. And as a claircognizant, you tend to assume that your knowledge is common information. This is so interesting. Just like this, right? Like I'm referencing a book, but this I live this, right? My clairs are present every moment of every day. And I think this is like, doesn't everybody know? But they don't. And so many people are looking for help, looking for ways to tap into their intuition, looking for answers, that I thought this would bring such value. If you're getting value, drop me some bells. If you let me know if it's making some sense to you. Okay, and so the last one. So if you identified with like music, with sounds, with the silence, with the crashing surf, the sound of someone's voice or laughter. That's clairaudience. So you're very sensitive to noise, and you're the first one to cringe at off-key notes of other unpleasant sounds. You can remember song melodies in much the same way that someone with a photographic memory can recall material they've read. Now, I don't know if any of you feel like this, but I can sing almost any song that I hear. And I don't know how I do that. Like, I can recite the words. I can't remember what I did like this morning, but a song will come on and I will sing the words. Like, I'll be like walking down the aisle. I'm like, what the heck? Like, this song is 20 years old. So anyway, that's just one of the ways that you can see that. Your angels speak to you, your intuition speaks to you with words that you hear inside or outside of your mind. During emergencies, it's like a loud voice outside of you warns you of danger. The voice of heaven, unlike any auditory hallucination, is always loving to the point of inspiring, even when it asks you to do something heroic or function beyond what you believe are your capabilities. So things that you could feel with this clairaudience are just nudges, gentle nudges. Like, you know, when you get that feeling like, oh, I should do that, I shouldn't do that. Oh, you like walking down a dark street, like, let me cross the street, let me do this, let me do that. Like, it's those, you're hearing that, and you may feel like, what is that, me? Is that, you know, whatever it is. I always say, honor your intuition, go with it, go with your gut. That's your gut feeling. If you feel like something's off, honor it, because it's normally the right answer. So I hope that you got some value from this. I know there's a lot of power in knowing, you know, we have the clairs, but what's your strength? I know there's a lot of power in that. If you got some value, please share this out. If you're new here, drop new so we can connect. I like to connect with my peoples. Let me know how you found me. I love sharing all things angels, intuition, gut. I'm also a hypnotist. I do a little bit of this and that. I also sing. I do a little bit of it all. So that's probably why it's like I hear things. Everything's like really, really powerful and strong. But in any case, I'm not going to go on and on. Have a great night. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.